Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
And of course, greetings from People's Republic of New York City, Mamdani Mayor. Here we have free buses and many, many other wonderful, glorious things to come in the future, all at the expense of the rich, who we will tax for all the free goodies. This not the yet state-owned Red Apple Audio Network, because super capitalist Mr. Katsamatiti still owns and will fight for free speech and private ownership. We think he will win. Welcome to Another Side of Midnight, People's Republic of Radio Station in glorious New York City, where it's cold, baby. Oh, it's so cold. Just like the motherland in Moscow. It's Pravda. Very cold. So cold today, I saw a flasher in Central Park. But he did not open coat. He simply told what his stuff looked like. Oh, yes, cold. People's Republic of New York is so cold. Amish guy bought plugged in electric blanket into wall socket and he made electric warms. Welcome to the show. It's DJ McCormack on another side of midnight. So cold. So cold here. Greyhound bus had big husky dog on side. Oh, it's cold. Hey, but listen, baby. If you in cold building and you landlord no take care of you, just call Zoran. Call Mamdani. 1-800 Guy. He will take over building and run in the grand tradition of Nietzsche building, where we consider rats to be free protein for people. That's right, baby. You will be looked after better than any other time in history. As the great leader Zoran says, I got you, baby. Don't you worry about nothing. Or something like that, I guess. Hey there, good morning, how are you? Welcome. Thank you there, Bill. Welcome to another side of midnight. It's me, TJ, talking to you here on the Red Apple Audio Networks. I needed something to wake me up, so I needed something to do something kind of light. I don't know, and just sort of go out on a limb. I don't know. Do a little fun. It's day 3. It's day 3 of your favorite new mayor and mine, Zoran Mamdani. Hey. Well, look, we'll see. Okay. Day 3. It's Saturday morning. The sun will come up again. You look to the east and there will be the sun. And, by the way, I gotta give a hat tip to some of Johnny Carson's writers. Those are some classic Johnny Carson, it's so cold lines. I use some of them for, inspiration. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. In some breaking news, if you're not, aware, if you're not in front of a television, or elsewhere, but breaking news out of Venezuela, out of Caracas, multiple in the last hour, at least 7 explosions and low-flying aircraft have been heard in Caracas. Multiple explosions in La Guardia State and Miranda State. And that is, again, in the last hour or so. Caracas is a seaport town, right there, on the, I believe that's considered the Caribbean Sea. Pretty damn sure, if not the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, so, there's multiple reports of these explosions and aircraft. And, that's been confirmed by CNN, and it looks like also, Fox News is confirming as well. So, yeah, so there we go. So we shall see what exactly that means. I'm curious about your take on this, gang. Wasn't exactly planning on hard news, but, is this, first of all, if it's us, it ain't Ireland. If this is us doing this in Caracas, are the Trump fans disappointed by no new wars? Is this going to be a way to avoid a new war? Is this aggression considered a war? Is this aggression considered a departure from Trump's, America first? Is this America first? Is this the Trump doctrine? It's just a little, it's different because it's right here but I almost sounded like Ed Sullivan there, right here on our shores, in our hemisphere. Here goes Maduro out stage left. Look, if Trump could depose, in one Saturday morning rampage, if he could get rid of a guy like Maduro and see a prosperous, free Venezuela, with all of its natural resources and everything, about 1,500 miles away or so, I think. I guess a good thing. Are we fans of this, friends? You didn't really hear MAGA people going boffo, sacco, nutso happy about the blowing up narco trafficking boats. But they weren't railing against it. The people railing against it were just railing against it because they just hate Trump and anything Trump does and Hegseth and all that stuff. And it's just anything he does. Bad, bad, bad. But, it wasn't like an Israel thing. It wasn't like, a terrorism thing. It was, or a border thing in the purest sense. So you didn't really have MAGA folks breaking down the doors to defend Trump, but they quietly said, or if you ask somebody in conversation, we got to stop that stuff. That's good. Stop the stuff. Stop the fentanyl. Stop the this. Stop the coke. Stop the blow. Stop it. And certainly the Democrats were against the wall and did look once again stupid and douchey by, getting on the side of narco terrorists, just like they do for, the Baltimore father, who was a human trafficker and a wife beater. So, the Democrats these days and their bedfellows, also strange. 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-9222. So curious, what you think about this breaking news, if this is pushing any buttons for you, or not. Actually, I'm curious if it's not. Give a call, and why? Would you rather Trump took his foot off the gas when it comes to this not so in your face, to some people, pressing, desperate need for intervention? Or is this or is Venezuela a desperate, absolutely necessary rationale for intervention? Is it? Is it in fact a human rights thing? Is it a humanitarian move to depose this guy? Is this something that's going to look good on Trump's resume? And here's the big thing. Here is the big thing. Is this something that will, this is, as far as I'm concerned, the most important thing right now, is this something that will lead to a successful midterms in November? That is what's crucial. That is where everything turns. Because if Trump and the Republicans are not successful, and I'm already on record saying my gut tells me they are not going to be successful. I don't know why. Maybe because of the massive backlash in this past November's elections at the local level. But, yeah, I just have this weird feeling that they're not going to be. And I think that is truly the most crushing, pressing, major issue is having a successful midterm. Because the alternative is 2 years. Well, first of all, 2 years of not just a lame duck, but a persecuted lame duck. A series of what we know will be attempts to impeach Trump and like his whole cabinet, for crying out loud. They're going to go after him. And if God forbid, can you imagine if they don't hold the Senate as well and they actually impeach him? They're going to go all the way. They're going to go all the way. Article 25, whatever, they're going to go all the way. 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-9222. Yeah, and the phones are lighting up. There we go. I see you all there. Silas, Pamela, Eduardo. Hello. It is, we're coming in on the third day of, Mamdani here in New York. We'll see. I know that's what Silas wants to talk about. And yeah, I was making a joke about it in there. Mamdani said, today, I believe, yesterday, it was on Friday, I believe, there was mention of his grand plan for New York City. And this has been something they've been talking about for months, something he ran on. That if New York City, that here in New York, if a landlord doesn't respond to X number of warnings, about violations and well then the city's going to step in. I mean, I think it's kind of a long-standing practice, but Mamdani's just itching to get in there and supplant landlords. And I contend, and a lot of people, not exactly reinventing the wheel here with this one, but as I mentioned in the goofy bit, Nietzsche, New York City is already arguably the worst, most disgusting slumlord on the planet. Right now. I mean, again, here in New York City, it's like, 17 degrees outside. It's 17 degrees outside. And now I've been out of the country. It's good to be back, by the way. Good to be back. It's good to be back. Hello. It's good to be back in the country, back from Liverpool. Celebrated the holidays with my wife's family. And, but back here, it's freezing. And so I haven't seen the local news as I normally would. I dipped in and out. But there's got to have already been a news story, at least 1, 2, or 3 news. There has to have already been some reporting that NYCHA buildings are without heat and hot water. It happens just like Christmas and New Year come every winter. So do the images of poor and minority families in NYCHA buildings, New York City Housing Authority, with no heat, no hot water, and somehow the rats survive. And we get the images of these cramped apartments with holes in the walls and the ceilings from earlier attempts at fixing this and that and the other. And all it is freezing families with no heat and holes in the walls and the floors, because they live at the mercy of the most disgusting slumlords, and that being New York City. And now it's just going to get worse. 1-800-848-9222. We got a bunch of people on the line, so let's take our first quick break. And when we come back, it's all phones here on Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormack, on the Red Apple Audio Networks. We'll be right back with you on the phones.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning, gang. Good morning. Welcome to Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormack. Boy, I tell you, as we talk to America on the Red Apple Audio Networks, 1-800-848-9222, I remember when America meant, like, we felt really lousy about 9/11. I remember when America meant that 9/11 was like a no-go. That it was something that was stipulated, was sacred. There was a time when 9/11 was sacred until Zoran Mamdani became mayor and appointed an attorney to his government who represented a 9/11 linked Al-Qaeda terrorist. He appointed him as his chief counsel. That dovetails with Mamdani's, one of his first acts at least. I don't know exactly when he pulled out the pen to sign the EO that repealed executive orders, which is, look, it's common practice. Elected officials come in, they'll repeal a lot of executive orders of their predecessor because executive orders are done that way. It's a stroke of a pen to implement them. It's a stroke of a pen to repeal them. Okay, fine. But in taking out the broad brush, what Mamdani did in the process was he repealed executive orders that defined anti-Semitism and ensured that city agencies enforced that definition. And this is a guy you would think that he would avoid coming to you, Silas. You would think that this guy would avoid or would look at anti-Semitism with his whole thing about, globalize the Intifada and all of the accusations of anti-Semitism, so many of them coming out of the megaphone on the Red Apple Audio Networks and here locally in New York City, 77 WABC. Our legendary morning man, Sid Rosenberg, one of the loudest and proudest Jewish voices in America, standing firm against this guy. You would think that for the first couple of days, any normal person, communists are not normal, anti-Semites are not normal, any normal person would have said, I'm going to kind of just go lightly on the Jewish thing. He, in fact, said, I'm going to shove everything right in their faces. And he went for it, and he doubled down, Mamdani did. And he appointed a 9/11 conspirator lawyer, and he repealed an executive order that specifically defined anti-Semitism and ensured the city enforced it. Guy's an anti-Semite. Just an anti-Zionist. He's an anti-Semite. 1-800-848-9222. Silas in Staten Island. Good morning, sir.
Yeah. So we're only 3 days in.
Yep.
But within 3 to 4 months, the problem is I want to see how many of his followers are going to keep following him. When it comes down to, like, the real journalists are going to go down to the housing projects.
Right.
And they're going to see people who are freezing.
Right.
What's the mayor going to do when they say, "Where is you, mayor? I can't get in my building. My children's is freezing, and you ain't do nothing." And don't blame Trump because you the mayor. You better fix this. And then if he wants to do free buses, free trains, fine. But how's he going to get conductors? How's he going to get bus drivers when you can't pay them? You can make it free, but there's nobody going to drive it. I worked in buildings, for landlords who have maybe 10 units to 20 units in the basements, making sure them boilers work and fixed. If he can't pay them and these landlords walk away from the buildings, who's going to run them? AOC? Bernie Sanders?
Right.
Kids who ain't got no skill?
Right.
Who's going to do this?
Right.
I want to see how many of them stay with him when he can't deliver, because I already going to make up my signs. Where's my free stuff?
Yeah.
And when he and as far as his socialism, I'm not calling him no names. He calls himself a socialist.
Yeah. Yeah. He's doubling and tripling down.
And it's never going to work.
Nope.
Especially in America.
Right. It's it.
And when it comes, and the one thing I wanted to say about the energy, because they wanted to make they want to make a mandate where all buildings have to be electric.
Right.
Why? So when the electricity goes out, nothing happens.
Right.
And you've got no alternative. You'll see.
Yep. No, we're doomed. It's doomed.
Watch and see how it's going to be.
I'm telling you, man. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Silas.
The other thing I wanted to make is the sun, which gives us everything. Because when the sun switches out, we're gone.
Right.
And I fill that with the Son of God.
S-O-N.
And if we lose either one of them, we lose America.
Yep. You're right, dude. It's what we were founded on.
America stands with morality. You can have the greatest, strongest army in the world, but if your leaders sell you out, like Biden did,
right?
What good is having the greatest army in the world if you're going to stand down when it comes time to fight? So I'm glad that Donald Trump is looking to get this Maduro guy out of there.
Yeah.
Because every nation that wants to follow our lead will win along with us.
There
Canada, Greenland, all of them.
Yeah, they'll follow.
You follow us, you win.
There you go. Thank you, Silas.
Communists, you lose.
Exactly. There you go. Amen. Truth, justice, and the American way. It's what Mr. Katz is talking about every single damn day of the week here on this network and on 77 in New York City. Truth, justice, and the American way, which is nothing to do with communism. And yeah, so just to recap again, in the last hour and a half, multiple explosions in Caracas, Venezuela. Actually, let me do that like a proper journalist. In Caracas, Venezuela. And right now they're reporting a column of smoke seen. Loud noises heard in Venezuela. Loud noises heard in Venezuela. And journalists in the capital could hear aircraft after the explosions. And here to comment on that is New Jersey correspondent Pamela on line 2.
Hey, I've been waiting 60 years, yes, since I was a little girl.
Yeah.
For somebody in America to do something about the drug info. Even I understood in the 60s that somebody's getting rich in America off of this drug trade. And I am so happy that Trump is doing it. But what I'm not happy about is we've got Mamdanis all over the place, a takeover all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard me at the tail end of Dr. Sky. I had to call in.
I did.
Oh, okay. There was a gentleman who called in, and I gave it to the screen caller, and he's very good. He'll give him the information. But this is just telling you what's going on in the other parts of the world that you don't, country that you don't hear about. Okay, we're hanging on by a tether, by a little string with our red states. Florida's red, and we all learned from Helene about West North Carolina and East Tennessee, right? That's the last bastion of republicanism, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got family down there. Long story. My husband's down there. I'm trying to get out of New Jersey. And with Mikey Sherrill being in here, oh my God, all the prices just went up. They just raised
immediately.
All the prices.
My God, I totally forgot about her. I totally forgot about that loss. I totally forgot.
So,
oh my God.
It's doomsday for us here. It's just doomsday. So anyway, what they have just sneaked in down there. Now, I know they've been wanting an AI generative center.
Yes.
And I told my husband, here comes eminent domain. Here comes all this bull.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the only people who lived down there like years ago were people who were retiring and could afford to put their life into a property.
Right.
And it was Jonesboro is a very quaint town. It's the oldest town in Tennessee. Johnny Cash hung out there.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians, storytelling. It's a very quaint town. Well, lo and behold, and sometimes I think my husband didn't tell me right away because he knew that I would blow a fuse. They're building a uranium enrichment center right next to our town and taking away farmland.
Isn't that great?
And,
uranium enrichment. What is this, Tehran? What the?
Exactly. Some kind of, history tells us that Southeast Tennessee helped develop the atom bomb along with Los Alamos out in Arizona.
Yes.
So I knew about that moving down there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, okay, what are you going to do? Nuclear is all over the place. But I did not know we had a storage center in the next county over, which really got flooded during Helene. That's the one with the hospital underwater.
Uh-huh.
And they almost had a disaster there. So I'm thinking, oh, wonderful, great, we're surrounded. Now they're building the center, and there's trucks going in and out and everything. Well, I guess people's being placid is finally over because people are enraged, including me.
Yeah.
And my husband's going to a meeting next week in the town, and he says that he thinks they're starting to back down. I said, yeah, but don't us back down.
Right.
And they're going to do eminent domain. Our property values are going to go down, and Blackburn was, and Trump, I'm not happy with Trump about this. Oh, people say, well, we have to do it because if we don't do it, China and Russia will do it. And it's helping us with medical research. Hey, I got news for you. If our quality of life goes down the toilet in this country, I don't want to live into my 90s.
Yeah, well, okay? You know, I tell you, we'll see what happens here. And like you said, it's growing. You're going to see a lot of bold leftists popping up. Dr. Sky's program, not to quote, another show, but hey, it goes right into your show. Sure. They did win in Chandler, Arizona, and parts of New Mexico. They did win. Yes. Because this is getting insane. Our quality of life is going down the toilet. Yeah. We are being taken over by Mamdani. That is why a statement needs to be made in November. While they're taking over our properties. So that gentleman who called in at the very end of the program, I got, sort of short railed at the end. I call up Senator Blackburn's office in Jonesboro. She's very powerful. She's in the news. Yep. And she's running for governor of Tennessee. Yes, Marcia. Let me tell you something. We're used to this area being polluted and crowded. So we're not noticing it. Right. But it's happening all over the country. So there's going to be no place to go. There's going to be nowhere to move. And we're getting a lot of liberals now in Tennessee from California. You know what they're doing? Yeah. They're escaping the taxes, the rich people. But they're bringing the rest of their liberal social policies with them. Exactly. It happened in Texas. They live in Tennessee over half the year so they can escape state taxes. Yeah. But they go back to California and wherever they're making movies nowadays, which, by the way, New Jersey is becoming a movie center. Well, it's also the same thing in Georgia, which is getting purplish, and the same thing with North Carolina, the same thing with Arizona, right? Remember when Arizona was reliable? Well, Californians moved to Arizona. They moved to Nevada. They moved to Texas. Austin is a big blue dot in the middle of deep red, formerly deep red Texas, now teetering on purple. Pamela, I got to jump. I got to get over to Eduardo in Florida. Eduardo, good morning. I was curious what, as I was talking about Venezuela, I know you're down there in Florida with the big Venezuelan population. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, well, I got the two Spanish news on here. I just saw a column of, they look like Blackhawks and Chinooks.
Yeah.
They just reported the airport was bombed.
Whoa.
And these are multiple targets, so it's not all in one place.
Yep.
So,
okay.
Yeah. That's from what I can gather. Even that midget in Colombia who I want to squeeze. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but he's obviously alerted the world of what's going on because, you know, he's with Maduro. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, look, so, maybe, you know, by Trump making an example of Maduro and his regime, then the little midget in Colombia follows suit and realizes, you know, his days are numbered. This
puts a scare not only with him, but everybody else, not just in South America, but also with China and Russia. And we can't forget, I know we're talking about drugs, but immigration is a big part of this because it's not just about domestic enforcement, but it's also the people that cross through the Darien Pass, which is in Panama, because
MS-13 is Venezuelan, right? I mean, MS-13 and isn't Tren de Aragua is
right. Remember the caravans that went down there? If you obviously you didn't see this on the English news, but you'd see it on the Spanish news. The caravans that was going from Venezuela through the Darien Pass up through Mexico.
Okay.
You got to get it from both ends. You just can't get it from domestic. You got to get it domestic and international too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, look, again, I think this is something that, look, Trump has become more and more savvy. I think he's also grown weary of inaction and, negotiation. And you know, what was it? I think it was yesterday or midday. Yeah, yesterday, Friday. We heard that Maduro was like, you know, open to talking. And Trump's like, open to talking. I'm Donald J. Trump. This is the United States. You're going to talk?
A couple people, he was actually driving a car.
In a car. It was, it was like carpool karaoke. Yeah.
He used to be a bus driver. So that's not surprising.
Oh, lovely.
He likes driving his own stuff. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I saw that. It was an odd clip, but it was like him and a couple of guys and driving around doing interviews and weird, man. You know what that was?
He was probably in handcuffs.
Yeah. I bet you were going to get that.
I want him in handcuffs and I want him just like Noriega. I want him in handcuffs.
Yeah. Well, look, man, maybe some of those loud noises, have been Maduro and his guys, shouting, you know, what's Spanish for surrender? Otto?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully it's him and his guys shouting Otto. Eduardo, thank you, brother. Thank you for calling in and, very interesting to get, your perspective on it. A Latin man living in Florida and, with a huge, Venezuelan population and South American population, Colombians, Venezuelans. I remember one time years ago, I had a scary moment in Caracas when I was working on cruise ships as a stand-up comic, and I had to clear customs and immigration in Caracas and then go to the airport and fly back to Miami. Oh my God, it was scary. I was actually driven by an armed guard. I had a bodyguard / driver take me from the seaport to the airport, and he did all the talking for me. I don't speak a lick of Spanish. And that's a scary thing, to be completely at the mercy of some dude wearing a gun and a bunch of other dudes who, like, you know, hate little funny me and my country. 1-800-848-9222. We're talking about a few things. We're talking about day 3 of the People's Republic of New York. And with the great leader Mamdani. We're also talking about the breaking news out of Venezuela. Explosions in low-flying aircraft heard in multiple locations throughout the surrounding Caracas and the surrounding towns and states in Venezuela. So the question is, do you dig it? Are you a Trump fan? Are you a MAGA who sees this as a defining moment where Trump is saying, I'm going to make the world a better place for these people, and that's going to ultimately help this hemisphere. And, the more free nations in South America, the better. The better for our hemisphere, for the globe in general. And also, hey, look, this guy is a despot. He's a dictator. He's a thug. And I'm going to, Trump saying I'm going to get rid of thugs. Or are you a non-interventionist MAGA and you just don't dig this and you want the people of Venezuela to handle this? Are you a kind of a naysayer, or are you just a little uncomfortable? Which in MAGA land, does that automatically make you a rhino? If you're just a little uncomfortable but still kind of supported, do you feel that are you a little concerned about your ultra MAGA friends who might call you a bit of a wuss for saying, well, I wish you would, tap the brakes a little bit. I don't know. And also, what do we expect the media, the mainstream media? I'm trying to keep an eye, on as much as I can. We're surrounded by TV screens here, and I'm doing my best to talk and read captions. But so far, it looks like CNN is going right down the middle on this. And Fox is being Fox, but not, they're not like barnstorming with pom-poms and cheering and stuff like that. You don't see fireworks on Fox News. They're just reporting it straight up. So where are you on what is probably an American action? We still, that I have seen, still have not, seen any statements that I can see, and I'll check in the break, which is what we're going to do right now. See if there's any official statements from the administration. 1-800-848-9222. How do you feel about what is probably our action this morning in Venezuela, where over the last couple of hours, Maduro's regime has been rocked a bit by probably our guys and gals in the sky? 1-800-848-9222. It's Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormack, on the Red Apple Audio Network.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning, gang. Good morning, family, here on the Red Apple Audio Networks. It's Another Side of Midnight with TJ McCormack. Very rare that news breaks during this program. It doesn't happen all the time. So so we're doing the breaking news thing. Dun, dun, dun. And, we've got multiple explosions in Venezuela's capital, Caracas. Not to be confused with maracas, which is a really cool shaking instrument that Liam Gallagher does better than anybody else. Thank you. We're just taking a very mature approach to breaking news. No, it is very serious stuff, because, boy, oh boy, could this mean, okay, now if it's Chinook helicopters, right? If it's helicopters, that means troops, doesn't it? If anybody wants to chime in with a little bit of knowledge, a little bit, if anybody with a little bit of a military background, it's tough for me to go and book an expert at 2:52 Eastern time in the AM. They're not exactly avail to TJ. But 1-800-848-9222. This again, still no confirmation from the administration. Still no confirmation, but the Venezuelan government is absolutely accusing the U.S. of attacking civilian and military installations in multiple states throughout Venezuela. Multiple explosions. There are CNN journalists on the ground in Venezuela, and they report hearing aircraft after the explosions. And so there you go. So are you a MAGA? Are you a mega MAGA who is digging this? Are you a mega MAGA who is concerned that this is too interventionist for us and the Trump doctrine? Or is this exactly the Trump doctrine? Get rid of the bad guys. Say what you mean what you say. Get in there, do it, and get the hell out. And make people's lives better. And open up a bunch of golf courses in the aftermath and employ the entire nation of Venezuela. Make them all wealthy. Make Venezuela great again. Maybe that's what this is. 1-800-848-9222. Let's get over to Bernie in Staten Island. Bernie, good morning. Welcome to Another Side. Hey.
Good morning. This is not about Venezuela. It's about anti-Semitism and anti-Jewishness in New York City. But some time ago, a motion picture which won the Academy Award was made, which revealed anti-Semitism and anti-Jewishness in New York City. As I say, it won the Academy Award. It's today, it's more relevant than ever because of the new mayor that we have in New York City. It's more relevant than ever because of the anti-Jewishness of this new mayor in New York City. My wife and I have last names that are Jewish, so we're particularly concerned about anything the mayor will do, this new mayor will do, that is against the Jews.
Bernie, he's already done it. He's already done two things. He's appointed to his administration somebody who defended a defendant in a 9/11 conspirator trial, and he also removed an executive order that pretty much protected Jewish people with a particular definition of anti-Semitism. He removed that Adams executive order, which was issued in the face of all of the rising anti-Semitism. This guy already, Bernie, has done what you as a Jewish man and your wife as a Jewish woman are afraid of. So I think Jewish people have a lot. You know what? In this day and age, in the 21st century, Jewish people are starting to get whiffs of 20th century, their 20th century existence.
Absolutely. And as I say, if your listeners want to know more about this,
a gentleman's agreement. All right. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Bernie. Thank you so much. That line was really crackly. It almost sounded like you were calling me from Venezuela. Chris and Bethpage, want to make sure I get to you. Been on the hold. Hello there, Chris.
Yes, TJ. Two things. I love what Trump's doing down there in Venezuela. I often say this to my friends. Can you imagine if Trump was the president during 9/11? First of all, I don't think there would have been a 9/11 if he was president. I don't think they would have had the guts to do that, first of all. But second, what I always tell my friends is, you know what he would have done? He would have spent a lot of time at all going through, should I do this, that? He would have went right to where he would have floored Afghanistan and gone after, what's his face? My
God. Yeah. For crying out loud, right? Me too. If you hadn't forgotten it, I wouldn't have forgotten it. But now I forgot it too. Osama bin Laden. Thank you, God. Osama bin Laden.
Right. He totally would have just wherever bin Laden is, we're going to kill the guy and that's it. And then maybe he would have gone after Saddam in Iraq. Yeah. But the second he caught him, that would have been it. He's not into troops on the ground, and that's what I love about Trump.
You think I'm too concerned about the midterms? Is that what you said?
Okay. Yeah. This is what I want to talk about.
Yeah,
totally.
Quick.
You guys are worrying. You're scaring the hell out of me. You're wearing way too much. No.
I think it's worth being scared, buddy.
No, let me tell you something. This is what's going to happen.
Okay.
There's no doubt, and it always happens, is the party out of favor will win the House. That just happens. Obama was a popular president, but he, like he said, in his own words, we got shellacked. Shellacked was the word.
Right.
Shellacked. They lost like 48 seats. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So, but here's the deal.
Yeah.
The Senate is so safe. I mean, look it up. There's going to be like very little turnover.
I hope so, buddy. I hope so. I hope so, Chris. I hope so. I don't want to see an entire second term of, just persecution. I got to jump. John in Hell's Kitchen when we come back. Another Side of Midnight on the Red Apple Audio Network.
It's Another Side of Midnight. 77 WABC. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Breaking news, WABC.
All right, so now it is confirmed. Good morning on the Red Apple Audio Networks. It is confirmed that U.S. officials have confirmed that it is us. We are pulling an operation in Venezuela as we speak. There are reports of special forces on the ground in Venezuela at this hour. Multiple blasts all around Venezuela. The Maduro government blames Trump. Trump's people just said, yeah, that's us. So again, U.S. has confirmed that we are currently performing strikes against the Venezuelan government. At least 7 explosions and low-flying aircraft heard in Venezuela's capital. Column of smoke has been seen. Loud noises heard all throughout several states in Venezuela, notably in Caracas. I'm not sure what state that is in Venezuela. I don't know if it's the state of Caracas. But the Venezuelan government has condemned it as a very serious, grave military aggression and in contravention of UN charter, et cetera, et cetera. Interested what you think about this. 1-800-848-9222. Are you happy about this? Is this too interventionist for your MAGA blood, or is this exactly what you think Trump should be doing? Is this exactly the Trump doctrine? Does this make America, is this part about making America safer again? Is this about making America healthy again? Is this about, peace breaking out around the world, peace through strength? Is that what this is? 1-800-848-9222. And this is also in a time when, New York is, being taken over, through the peaceful means of an election by a communist anti-Semite named Zoran Mamdani. And now we are turning the corner as it seems our government is trying to depose a Marxist down in Venezuela. We've got a communist, a socialist taken over here in the biggest, greatest city, as Mayor Adams used to say, on the globe. And with a big opinion about that is a really cool guy who calls in every now and then, and I like when he does. Here's John in Hell's Kitchen. Good morning, John. Welcome back to the program.
Good morning, TJ. Welcome back from Liverpool.
Cheers. Thank you, mate.
How much chocolate did you eat, man?
Oh, dude, loads. My blood type is Cadbury.
Absolutely. Crunchies.
Yes!
Man. Crunchies.
Crunchies are awesome, and now they got a Cadbury with Crunchies mixed in it, and it's like this. Oh, it's awesome. Yes.
Yes, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, TJ.
Yeah, buddy, yeah.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
This is my sociological overview from my stoop on 10th Avenue.
All right. Live from the stoop. We got to come up with a sounder for you. I
gotta tell you, I'm gonna do it cheap. I have a book. It's called Stoop to Conquer.
Love it.
It's available on Amazon, and it's all about the stoop. The stoop is one of the main characters because it's like a captain's cockpit where you just sit and watch the world, man.
Totally get it. I totally get it.
And here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Nikita Khrushchev, when I was a little boy, took his shoe off in the United Nations right across here on 42nd and 1st. And he slammed that desk. Anybody who doesn't know this can YouTube it.
Sure.
And he said, "We will get you from within." And they have gotten us from within. Now, this is coming from a on a reprieve junkie alcoholic who's 42 years sober by the grace of God.
Amen.
They got us from within. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at these people since, and I got to tell you, the truth needs to be told. That you know, like Jack Nicholson, you need me on this wall. Mm-hmm. You want me on this wall because here's what's beginning to happen. I was watching this inauguration the other day. I'm going to call it right.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Adams. I'm looking at de Blasio. It started with them. But Adams is a liar. Adams was Louis Farrakhan's bodyguard. Now all of a sudden he's like Curtis used to say, he's getting wine, dine, and pocket line. Now all of a sudden he loves Jewish people. De Blasio was sitting there like the crow that ate the crow. And what they did here, TJ, and I'm a little fired up.
Go, right baby, now. Go. Don't put out that fire. Go, baby.
What they did here was they rolled in the Trojan horse adorned and camouflaged in Sensimilia. I was walking around New York City today. I was all over the place. I was doing one of them great Frank Capra days.
I love when you talk about the Frank Capra New York stuff. Yes, I get it.
There's a movie called Meet John Doe. Did you ever see that movie?
You know what? I've seen clips of it on YouTube. I haven't sat down and watched it.
You need to see the whole thing because it's about what's going on right now.
Okay.
Gary Cooper, Walter Brennan, Barbara Stanwyck. And it's about a guy, it's about a newspaper looking for an angle.
Right.
And they get a guy that says that if people don't start doing the right thing, he's going to jump off the thing at midnight.
Right.
I'm telling you, we're in a situation right now that only the hand of God can repair. If you notice this guy Mamdani, this guy who looks like Che, who looks like Castro, who looks like Maduro, who looks like Bin Laden, who looks like Hussein, who looks like the other clown Noriega. If you notice this guy Mamdani's always running. He's running because he knows that there's a gigantic mosquito net going to go over him. It's going to be a matter of time. But the problem here, TJ, and I don't want violence. We have enough violence.
100%.
But enough is enough, man. I mean, we're a country built on a revolution. And people with this glazed over look in their eyes just walking around. And the thing that blows my mind, and I'm a lifelong New Yorker, immigrant parents, came up the tough way, came up, whatever way, lucky to still be alive.
Sure.
Is that, do you know how many Jewish people voted for this guy?
Yeah, I know.
This is what blows my mind.
I know. It's like Casey Kasem said in that outtake. Ponderous, man. It's ponderous.
Like, I had an argument with a friend of mine, and we're going to remain friends because I'm of an era, you're of an era. We can agree to disagree and still have a cup of coffee together tomorrow. Absolutely. There's the problem now. Nobody is willing to agree to disagree. But I was talking to a friend of mine in the neighborhood here, a musician guy, and I said to him, why? I said, your parents were Holocaust survivors. What are you thinking about, man?
Right. What did he say?
Well, he said, man, the price of rent is too high, man.
Affordability, dude.
Well, all you got to say is free.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing free. When we were kids growing up in school, remember the Pied Piper? None of these people know how to swim.
Right.
They don't know how to swim. This dude, he's just playing whatever kind of music they like. Case in point, he throws a block party. When you had a block party, you had food, you had bathrooms, you had entertainment, you had T-shirts, you had buttons. He has people standing in sub-degree weather, standing there with no bathrooms. Where was the block party?
Right. That's a metaphor for what what's about to happen. It's all window dressing.
Absolutely.
And the fat cats are going to get fatter. And this guy, and by the way, talking about collectivism and talking about rugged individualism, he's going to, this guy, shouldn't he actually, in the spirit of collectivism, shouldn't he be swearing off of, while he's being sworn in? Shouldn't he be deciding to move out of Gracie? What the hell is he doing moving to Gracie Mansion?
Exactly. If he was a man of the people, he would stay in his rent-stabilized apartment and walk around the neighborhood and hands-on.
Yeah.
He's up in Gracie Mansion with his beard wife. I said it. I said it. I said it.
His beard wife in her
how much was her outfit?
700.
How much was her outfit?
The boots were $700 alone.
Absolutely, and listen, the hand of God, the hand, and a guy like Trump is only one man.
Yeah.
Look what Trump is doing. Iran is in the street. You remember Tiananmen Square? Remember the guy standing in front of the tank?
Sure.
All right. Iran is in the street. The people in Venezuela, this is long overdue.
Yep.
And then you see all these politicians. Like, listen, I don't want to hear about Eric Adams or Bill de Blasio. There's something that was reported on the news today. They found in Greenpoint Cemetery 25 police uniforms.
Whoa.
Nobody's talking about it. It was on the news for 3 seconds. It was pulled.
Whoa!
25 police uniforms. The enemy is within. They're looking at us right here.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to be vigilant, head on a swivel. Yeah. The old thing: if you see something, say something. Because they're here. They're looking at us.
Yeah.
There's a deli in my neighborhood on 45th and 10th. The guy's got a tattoo on his arm that says "Debt to Israel, debt to the United States" on his arm.
Jesus.
And I said to him, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "It's our time."
Oh my God.
Our time.
John, I got a boogie, brother, but thank you so much. Thank you. What's the name of your book?
The name of my book is called Stoop to Conquer. My name is John Michael Bolger. It's about sex, drugs, rock and roll, Studio 54, and the truth.
Yeah. Love it.
Peace, man.
Love it.
Peace.
Peace, baby. Trudge on. Another friend of Bill's right there. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Breaking news this morning that now the FAA has banned commercial flights over Venezuelan airspace. FAA bans U.S. commercial flights over Venezuelan airspace. And I tell you what, like the 6th borough of New York sometimes is Aruba. The island of Aruba is my wife and I have taken our girls to Aruba a couple of times. When you're there, it's basically you and Staten Island are in Aruba. That's what it is. It's Staten Island, which is appropriate because that's a Dutch name. And, Aruba is a Dutch island. Anyway, Aruba is like 10 minutes from Venezuela. It's right there. It's the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, and they are literally just off the coast. Matter of fact, if anybody's watching TV and so anybody in Aruba who, anybody listening who has anybody in Aruba right now, I'd be curious to get their take if they're freaking out or whatever, because I mean, look, they're far enough away. They're fine. Nothing going to happen to them. But I just wonder if they've heard anything. I just wonder if they saw anything flying over. That'd be interesting to know. And I just know that Aruba is like way frequented by New Yorkers and tri-state area people here. And a lot of people own places there, and they certainly flock there in the wintertime. I know I would love to flock there right now because it's 12 degrees in New York City. Here on the Red Apple Audio Networks, where we talk about everything. Oh, and by the way, just so I don't look like an idiot for the entire morning, allow me to say that Yuri, thank God he's here, he corrected me, and he mentioned, and so I'm going to mention that, yes, I now am fully aware that MS-13 is a Salvadoran gang and not Venezuelan. But I was right about Tren de Aragua. Tren de Aragua is in fact Venezuelan. Okay. 1-800-848-9222. We are talking about the strikes currently ongoing in, Venezuela. It seems that, U.S. special forces are on the ground, and we're talking about how do you as a Trump hater feel about this? How do you as a Trump supporter feel about this? How do you as a parent think about this when it comes to this maybe being a real strike, a real blow against the drug trade? You know, are you a Trump supporter who finds this to be a bit too interventionist? Or are you a Trump supporter who finds this to be exactly what he promised, to make America safer again, to make America great again, and to make sure that that everything we do is, you know, a rising tide lifts all boats. We lift up one of our neighbors to the south in this hemisphere, and we get Venezuela on the straight and narrow, making money with its oil and all this stuff, and rock and roll, baby. Drill, baby, drill. Do it safely. Do it cleanly. All of that. Don't sell drugs. Don't come over here and don't send us your Tren de Aragua. Don't do that. Right? Despot's bad. Capitalism good. Except, of course, here in New York, where we now have a Democratic Socialist who is, in fact, a communist anti-Semite as mayor. 1-800-848-9222. We're coming right back to talk to you on that phone number about all of these things and whatever else you want to talk about here on Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormack, on the Red Apple Audio Network.
All night long. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning, gang. Good morning. Good morning. It is another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormack, on the Red Apple Audio Networks, broadcasting to you not from Liverpool in the United Kingdom anymore. No, back here, of course, in the States, back in New York City in the studios of 77 WABC, the flagship, the largest, the greatest, the biggest, the baddest, the best, the most wonderful, the most glorious, glowing talk radio station in all the land, in all the history of talk radio. And oh my God, I get to be a part of it. 1-800-848-9222 for you to be a part of it. And we are talking about the breaking news out of Venezuela this morning, where it seems that the U.S. the administration has in fact confirmed that we're over there. It hasn't been confirmed that we've got boots on the ground, but reports are that we've got special forces that have infiltrated. That would explain the Chinooks as opposed to just high flying, bombing run or something like that. It's not just bombers or drones or something. But in fact, it sounds like from reports on the ground that U.S. special forces are there in Venezuela. So, we keep getting these multiple reports. CNN, in fact, has, reporters on the ground there. And, we're hearing about multiple blasts. And, yes, the U.S. has confirmed it's us. And, our members of the family who are over there on, Twitter, on X, all of the crew are there, and they are chiming in. Marianne, we're also talking about, day 3 now. It's early morning hours of the 3rd day of the People's Republic of New York, with the great leader Zoran Mamdani. And Marianne says another one of Adams' EOs, that executive orders that Zoran revoked, quote, a requirement that the police chief evaluate rules about protests outside houses of worship that Adams issued last month after an anti-Israel rally at a Manhattan synagogue. Marianne says, I already hate this guy. Catherine says that she's a fan of the action right now in Venezuela. She says she's sure that the citizens of Venezuela are not enjoying being starved to death under Maduro and his repressive regime. She said it's also a shot across the bow towards the Iranian government. And Catherine makes a great point. Something that John in Hell's Kitchen was just mentioning. He mentioned Iran. The people are starting to move. And by the way, herein lies the difference between Trump and our previous great leader, Barack Hussein Obama, who walked away just when you thought the Iranian people were going to finally topple that repressive Islamic revolution regime there. Just when they were gaining momentum, not only did Obama just sort of, sneeze, cough, and look the other way and just start, shooting hoops. But that was right around the time where he sent them a ton of dough to not develop nuclear weapons, whatever the hell. Yeah. Trump will absolutely support in many, many ways. You just know he's ready to roll with those people. If they show the initiative, if they show the gumption, if they show the bravery to stand up, and it looks like they are, because they're on the march, literally marching in Iran and protesting, which is really taking your life in your hands, especially women, especially gays. If they show that kind of backbone and fierce determination, Trump's going to back them. Whereas Obama sent the regime cash, literally sent them cash. Trump going to back the revolution against the revolution. Obama gave money to the bad guys. Literally gave money to the bad guys. It's like a punchline of like a weird dystopian joke. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. Felix, oh my God, listen to me. Joaquin is over there on X as well. He liked the opening of the show, our homage to the Russian regime. And, so everybody's over there. Everybody's over there, and they are listening and active and a part of this. And thank you so much, gang, for being a part of it. 1-800-848-9222. And let's go over to Chris in the Catskills. Chris, good morning. Welcome to Another Side.
Hey, good morning, TJ.
Hi.
Great documentary on the Gallagher brothers made like about 20 years ago on Oasis.
Supersonic.
It's very well produced. Check it out.
Yep.
So, in regards to Mamdani.
Yes, sir.
My congresswoman is a socialist. She got elected 3.5 years ago. Moved to the country from Nepal. She met Mamdani while she was attending college and post-college years in New York City.
Really?
Working in the computer industry. Sarah Hannah Shreska.
Oh, I've heard.
Moved
Okay.
with her partner to a Sopus, and he encouraged her to run for assembly, and he helped guide her campaign. They're both campaigning geniuses, but she ended up taking out a long-time, original progressive, Kevin Cahill, who had been in the New York State Assembly out at Kingston, New York for he served 2 different stints, a total of 12 terms.
A run-of-the-mill progressive.
She beat him. You know, he had become complacent, but he brought a lot of pork to the district, and then they redistricted, and they put him in my town. He got in a battle with the Democratic committee in my town is filled with a bunch of lunatics, which caused me a lot of problems as an elected official. And so I ran into her in the Kingston Public Library, and I gave her a suggestion. I had actually supported a woman that primary challenged her that was a family member of had worked for Cahill and Scoopus as an aide.
Oh, okay.
And she absolutely, he held, the debate was very evenly matched. Cahill mopped up the floor with Sarah Hannah in a debate in my town put on by her committee. But Sarah Hannah learned how to debate in a couple of years, but she crushed this woman 2-1 in the primary. So, Mamdani, I was telling Dominic Carter that, term limits are going to be the only thing that takes him out because he's a campaign genius. And the thing is, that New York City, the Democratic Party in New York City doesn't have a George Latimer on the bench in New York. And Mamdani isn't Jamal Bowman. Jamal Bowman's a putz, okay?
Oh, Jamal Bowman. Yeah, Jamal Bowman's an embarrassment.
No, and George Latimer, see, I'm a policy-wonk Democrat, and unfortunately, I'm not into these ideological movements. But, hopefully, I don't know, hopefully Mamdani, there's a difference between being an administrator with a very important job and being a legislator, And
well, Chris, tell me, and as a legislator in a supermajority safety, rocking chair that he was, this lunatic, he either passed one bill or couldn't quite pass. I think he passed one bill in his time there, which when you're sitting in a massive supermajority and you only pass one bill, and he was also basically persona non grata. He was rarely there in chambers. Let me ask you this. George Latimer, who is, for anybody's not familiar, he's a congressman out of Westchester and the North Bronx. Here in New York, and the guy has never lost a race. He has never ever lost an election, and he's good. But here's the thing: I'm curious, Chris. Do you think that if Latimer were to be at this point now, because it's different now? You said Bowman, Bowman's an idiot, and a ham sandwich could beat Bowman, Jamal Bowman, the idiot. But anti-Semite himself, actually, and racist. But Bowman, it's a different time now. Now the true crazy far left progressives are firmly ensconced. Do you think a guy like Latimer if some lunatic AOC type wanted to primary him, do you think he'd be vulnerable, or does he have enough Westchester to knock that out?
Well, I think, here's the thing. I think George Latimer and James Skoufis are like your policy wonk Democrats in southern New York. Yeah. And I think the districts, like Skoufis is the most prolific campaigner in the state of New York. You know, if he's a dynamite debater, if you've ever seen him debate, if he represents districts that are like plus 14 Trump, plus 15 Zeldin, and somehow he makes it through. Never lost an election.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's strong on constituent services. I don't agree with some of the bills he puts up, like banning the Independence Party, banning the use of the word independent or independence for a line. He does intelligent, crafty things like putting up legislation to rename the Tappan Zee Bridge the Tappan Zee Bridge, and then withdraws it. Very clever, but very self-serving too.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, Skoufis is a bit of a...
Yeah, I think those guys are safe, but I'll tell you, my experience, because when I was in there, I flipped my balance of power in my legislature 12 years ago from Republican to Democrat, and I pulled like an upset first-run campaign victory by 11 points against a 9-term Republican who wasn't... He had health problems, and he was very eccentric, to put it nicely.
Okay.
Well, we were neighbors, actually. And then, I made the mistake of my second term of winning the Republican line as an incumbent Democrat.
You did one of those. Okay.
Independence Party line. So in my county, there was only, in the 16-year history of the Independence Party, only one person ever won the independence line through a write-in. And that was me. I did it 3 times.
Look at you. Chris, the strategist. Chris, the chess player.
Then when the Working Families Party turned against me, then I had...
Oh, they're good for that. Those Working Families.
The Socialists, they were plotting against me.
Of course.
My back.
Of course. The ends justify everything.
That's what ended up happening, you know. And now, with all the migration that's come into my county, so the 2 terms I was in the legislature, it was 13-10 Democrat, okay, then 12-11 Republican. And the only reason why it switched over 12-11 Republican is because they tried taking out a conservative Democrat who was too popular. He lost his primary. He was connected to the union, got the Working Families endorsement, told the Working Families Party that if he lost the primary, he would give up the WFP line. He didn't. And then he ended up getting a Republican, Independence, Conservative, Working Family, and then he crushed the guy that beat him in the Democratic primary.
Chris,
then he went on to be a town supervisor, and he still served.
Well, Chris, listen, man, we're going to keep you close as this as this year unfolds, because you'll be a cool resource for because it's an even year voting now. So there are supervisors and council people and legislators all throughout New York State that have to run again rather than serve a whole long term, because New York State passed a law where all elections are going to be in even years. And there's a lot of like catching up to do. And so there's going to be a ton of local and state races coming up in Working Families Party. My God, we're going to hear that over and over and over. And we're going to hear Latimer over and over. We're going to hear about Mike Lawler over and over and over. 1-800-848-9222. Let's go to Robert in I'm sorry, hold on. Let's go to Andy in Westchester. Andy, good morning. Welcome.
2 hours of push and broom. I ain't got no cigarette, TJ.
Hey,
King of Abbey Road. Now let me just wake up the audience, please.
Sure.
Because you'll put everybody to sleep talking about an assembly seat in Westchester County.
How dare you? I'm being current.
Not you, the caller. Westchester County is left-wing, period.
It's
all right?
over.
We don't
it's
want to
over.
hear about some town in Westchester County. They're all left-wingers up there.
It's over.
Anyway.
Yes.
It's gone. And let me just tell the people out there, I hear people complaining, listen, the 1965 Immigration Act has turned the country upside down, okay? Yeah. If this act is not repealed, I'm going to tell you right now, people like Mamdani and Alex Kotex and Omar and Khalid, they will jump in your arms and kiss you smack on the lips.
Right on the mouth.
You are building up their constituency every single day. They're coming in with all different types of visas, and nobody's leaving, all right? You're building up their constituency. Now, listen, New York City is, you ready for this, folks, is the largest real estate owner in New York City. So that means Mamdani is in charge of a big chunk of real estate, the largest piece in New York City. And let's remember now, he doesn't want to throw anybody in jail. You know, all these housing projects you talked about, we call them, I know people use the name of the project. A lot of the problems are caused by people who live in the project, who rob and steal copper wires, copper plumbing, and people are calling up, hey, we got no heat. Hey, the boiler is down, right? Because they robbed all the wires and the copper pipes. Now, federal money goes into those projects.
Yeah.
I think before all is said and done, and more will be said than done, I think that Grand Orange is going to be the biggest landowner in New York City again, because
the Grand Orange.
Trump is going to go after them with HUD. HUD money is going into those projects. All kinds of money goes into NYCHA from the federal, billions of dollars. I mean, we know it's being robbed blind, but also all the problems in those projects are caused by either criminality, scams, welfare scams. So that looks like, I don't think Mamdani knows exactly what he's gotten into. But the problem obviously is 85% of the people who voted for him are foreign born. Most of these federal judges who vote against Trump are foreign born. I hear this one guy calls and he's turning Bondi into that clown from, the guy with the COVID vaccine and everything. Mm-hmm. He's turning everything. But listen, in Virginia, they put all the hardcore evidence in front of a grand jury and they would not indict James, okay? It's not Bondi's fault. So you got misinformation, or you're supplying misinformation about Bondi. They would not indict James for that. And all the evidence was put there. You know why? Because most of the people on the grand jury are foreign-born people who gained citizenship, just like in Washington, D.C. with the January 6th. Those people were treated horrible. Yeah. Those people were outrageously treated by people who were judges, federal judges, local judges who are foreign-born, and grand juries who are foreign-born. Right. All right? So if you're going to call up and condemn Bondi, you better get your evidence and everything in place and know everything that's going on here, because then you are spreading misinformation. Right. And let me just finish up with this.
Finish up there, Andy. Finish up on a high note.
Listen, we love you, TJ. Listen,
I love you too.
There's a lot of reports going on. Now that Venezuelan freak who murdered Laken Riley, there are reports that it's possible he was strapped to one of the missiles that landed in Venezuela. Home sweet home.
All right, dude. Thank you, Andy. And want to give a shout out to my buddy Bill, who an hour and a half into the breaking news said, "Are you watching the news? Are you talking about this? We're bombing Venezuela." Thank you, buddy. 1-800-848-9222. 1-800-848-9222. So we're talking a little bit about day 3 of the People's Republic. We're talking a lot about the current news out of Venezuela, which is that we have confirmed that we are performing these strikes against Venezuela. No confirmation about special forces being on the ground, but those are the reports. And so the question for y'all is, if you are a MAGA, how does this strike you as a MAGA? Is this the Trump doctrine, making America safe again, making America healthy again, intervening on the drug trade, deposing a bad guy in our hemisphere, in our backyard? That makes us safer. That makes us healthier, right? It makes us, it potentially puts us in a position to do some business with a now really big, and hopefully now a friendly nation, and that hopefully that would lead to more friendly behavior from places like Colombia and other South American neighbors down there. And so actually, no, let me do this before we take a break. Let's go. Michael has a really interesting question that was right in the back of my skull, and I'm wondering the same thing. So, Michael in Wisconsin, good morning. What's your thought on this?
Yeah, it was not in the back of your skull. You thought of it because I posed the question.
No, I forgot all about this. You know why too? Because I forgot her name. And and I wanted to be smart about it, but then I forgot, and then we just kept doing the show, and so I'm glad that you called with this, Michael.
Right. I want to ask about, I hope I get her name right, Maria Machado.
I believe that is
the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yes.
Prize winner.
Yes, who was in hiding and, finally made her way to, get that award.
Yeah, I bet she's up in Lincoln's bedroom. But anyway, isn't she the elected president of Venezuela?
Apparently she won the, she did win the popular thing, the popular vote, but, of course that and $1 will get you thrown in jail in Venezuela. Whether or not she was consulted, I mean, wouldn't it be the coolest damn thing for Trump to come in, knock this guy out, the Trump who was denied the Peace Prize, knock this despot out, and Trump to help oversee the installation of the woman who did win the prize and gave him all the props when she received her Nobel Peace Prize.
Right. And I am not for, I'm 20-year Navy retired, and I am not for the so-called regime change. I mean, pushed by us. Right. I hope that's not what's pushing this, because, I have mixed feelings about, I voted for Trump all 3 times and the primaries, and I am in support of blowing the boats out of international water.
Oh, okay.
The narco boat.
Huh.
But I'm mixed feelings on actually
regime
striking.
Change.
Definitely against that, pushed by us. But I'm kind of iffy on striking Venezuelan land. And I sure hope, I know we're not sure yet, right. I sure hope we don't have American boots on the ground there.
It's really interesting, Michael. I'm really, really glad that you called, because you are exactly what was on my mind driving the questions for the calls, which was, are you a Trump supporter that, that this does this check the boxes for Trump supporters? Does this not check the box? Interventionist, yes or no? Peace through strength. Is that what this is? Is it, peace breaking out all over the world, this way? So, you are exactly where I was going with this. And so it's interesting, and add that layer of you being a veteran, that just puts the icing on the cake. It's interesting that you're cool with knocking out the boats. You're cool with that, even absent, hard evidence that they're necessarily running drugs?
I'm sure we have people there like CIA agents and such. So I don't think it's just on a whim.
Right.
And I agree that,
certainly not.
Hegseth, or the Department of War Secretary, these are not fishing boats. There's no fishing poles or,
right. Yeah, exactly.
And I call it the true Ronald Reagan war on drugs.
Yeah.
This is truly, a war on drugs.
It is.
But again, I just go, take a step back when we start hitting Venezuela land.
You know what? And by the way, and this is the other thing that I like about you, and I like about where I stand politically, the people that I rub shoulders with, people like you, who are nuanced. And I just referred to a buddy of mine named Bill, who refers this way. He was a never Trumper at one point, and as he puts it now, he just calls balls and strikes, because he likes the way, it's a different time now, it's a different era, it's not 2016, 17, 18. And he calls balls and strikes. And I think that's the way a lot of Trump supporters approach Trump and the administration and the choices that they make. And it sounds to me like you're calling balls and strikes. And you're not like someone on the left who is just a lemming and a sheep and just gonna just follow and be told what to do and where to go and who to vote for and then sit down and shut the hell up. I'm proud of the fact that we have some intellectual honesty on the conservative side of the aisle.
Yeah, and I know I'm just low man on a totem pole, politics and, world stage.
Nah, you're the most important person in it. You're the most important person in it, dude. You are. You and me and every other person involved in this. We're the voters.
But I'm not the hit 'em guy.
Right.
Or, calling him a strike or a ball.
Right.
Because I know, with Kosovo, with Mogadishu, with Yugoslavia, one time we are friends with a country, now we're enemies. One time we're supporting a country, now we're fighting in it. So politics and world stage is way above my pay grade.
Michael, you're awesome, brother. I'm really glad you called. I got to get to this break. I apologize for that, but thank you for making the show better. I really do appreciate it. Great stuff from Michael in Wisconsin. All right, gang, taking a quick break. When we come back, we'll take another look at what's happening in Venezuela. We'll talk to Alice, Will, Chris, Robert, and we go into the third hour. Here on Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ, on the Red Apple Audio Networks.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's Another Side of Midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now, to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning, family. Welcome back. It's 55 minutes past the hour here on the Red Apple Audio Networks. My name is TJ McCormack. This is Another Side of Midnight, broadcasting to you from a frigid New York City. Good Lord, it's cold out there. But it's hot in Venezuela right now. So again, the breaking news. U.S. carrying out strikes in Venezuela this morning. We have the administration has confirmed that we're doing it. What is not confirmed is any boots on the ground. It is not confirmed reports that we have special forces that have infiltrated. So we'll see. Trump is never slow to meet with the press. Maybe we'll see him in his navy blue pajamas and red tie. 1-800-848-9222. Let's see. Let's talk to Robert in Montreal. Good morning, Robert.
Yes, good morning, CJ. Happy New Year.
And to you. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Listen, I have another term for damn-dammy, as I call him. It sort of rolls off my tongue. He's actually an Islamo-fascist, and he's trying to sanitize that by saying he's a democratic socialist. You see what he's done. I mean, clearly, he's got Jew hatred on his top of his agenda.
Yep.
And as you know, there are federal civil right laws, and he may find the National Guard in New York City before he can say Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. Hey, look, Trump is, I think Trump, with his kind treatment and tolerant demeanor with Mamdani that day in the Oval Office, I think that is keeping his enemies closer. I think that's what Trump is doing. Trump is nobody's dummy. He's nobody's fool. And
he's very clever.
Yep, he's very, very clever. And I think I think he's absolutely keeping this enemy very close, and he's not going to take 1 ounce of smack from this kid.
And, if the National Guard comes in, then ICE is behind them.
Yep.
And they're going to clean up the city pretty good.
Yep. And pretty quick too. And by the way, and I apologize. It's got to be a quick call this time, Robert. I apologize, but thank you for calling in from Montreal. I do appreciate it. So we are climbing up towards the third hour. There is a fascinating call from Will I want to get to when we come back after the top of the hour news with a great question, great damn question, and it's exactly along the lines of where I want to go with this news out of Venezuela vis-a-vis the Trump doctrine. And are we interventionist under this guy, or is this in fact peace through strength? Is that what this is? Is this making America great again by making the Western Hemisphere safer and more prosperous? There you go. All right. We shall return here on Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormack, on the Red Apple Audio Network.
It's Another Side of Midnight, 77 WABC. This is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
Good morning, family. Hello there. It's me, TJ, on Another Side of Midnight on the Red Apple Audio Networks. It's Saturday morning. It is the 3rd of January, 7 minutes past the hour. Down the stretch we come in the final hour. And we rarely, never, ever, I can't remember the last time we had breaking news during Another Side of Midnight.
Breaking news, WABC.
Yeah, we got to take advantage. We got to go with it when it happens. Thank you, Bill. Exactly. I forgot to ask for that again. Thank you, buddy. We got breaking news. I got Venezuela and fuego. Bamboleo. Yeah, so the United States has acknowledged that we are in fact, carrying out strikes in Venezuela. U.S. Embassy now. Okay, so here's the latest. The U.S. Embassy in Caracas, says to U.S. citizens to avoid Venezuela. Well, it's a little late if they're telling, but they are telling them to shelter in place. So avoid Venezuela in general. And if you are there, they are telling U.S. citizens, shelter in place. The multiple blasts, seen and heard throughout. And now we're starting to get pictures of some of those columns of smoke. We're starting to get those images now out of Venezuela, out of Caracas and several other locations, in that coastal country in South America. And, the Maduro government blames Trump and, Trump said, we blame us for sure because we did it. We're there. We're doing it right now. 1-800-848-9222. We're basically asking this morning if, you as a Trump hater, think that, this is a strike against Trump. Are you going to be playing this up as a very un-Trumpian moment for, going in and by the way, this is, here we go. Democrats waking up, Democrat elected officials waking up this morning. You're going to be in a position now to, in addition to supporting men and women's locker rooms and girls' safe spaces and their sports, and in addition to you having to finding yourself supporting, crooked, Somali, child care gangs. And in addition to you as Democrats and Democrat elected officials supporting, wife beating, human smuggling, human trafficking, illegal aliens. In addition to all of those odd pickles you find yourselves in, now this morning you get to wake up and find yourself having to run to the defense of a South American banana republic dictator despot. Congratulations, Democrats. Crack your knuckles and gargle and scratch your ass and get out of bed and get ready because this Saturday you are supporting Maduro. Way to go. Trump has painted you into one of those corners again. Not only do you get to defend Tren de Agua, but you get to defend the guy who enabled them. Way to go. Not only do you get to, Democrats, this morning, make yourself a cup of strong coffee and look for those talking points that are going to be issued to you from the office of Hakeem Jeffries. Look for those talking points because you're going to want to articulate them accurately. Just like you have been articulating your defense of drug runners in those boats, those fishing boats, calling them fishermen. Just like you called that wife-beating wife-beating human trafficker as the misunderstood Maryland father. So anyway, as a Trump supporter, is this not Trumpian? Or as a Trump supporter, is this in fact another promise made and promise kept? Where do you land on this? This is nuanced. And as we were talking about in the last hour, that is what Trump supporters are now. Trump supporters are nuanced. Trump supporters, like my buddy Bill, a lot of us are calling balls and strikes. It's the perfect way to put it. And that's the way my buddy Bill, he put it. Bill O'Reilly, not that Bill O'Reilly, another Bill O'Reilly, is on the record as being a guy who was a never Trumper. And he's, there's different things going on. It's a different world. It's a slightly transitioned Trump-ish. And Billy O'Reilly is a political commentator, a Republican communications, conservative communications strategist. And I love how he put it. He's calling balls and strikes on Trump these days. People are wise to put aside the broad brush and call it like they see him on every individual unique issue. And that's where this show has been living this morning, as we have been watching in real time, as 7 explosions, along with low-flying aircraft, have been heard in and around Caracas, and the United States owned it, said, yep, that's us. The only thing that has not been confirmed thus far is if there are, in fact, boots on the ground, if there are, in fact, special forces in Venezuela. So, let's get over to Alice in Ohio, and then we'll talk to Will after that. Alice in Ohio, you're on one side of this fence here. Go ahead. Tell me, what are you thinking about Venezuela right now? What's breaking news? Tell me.
Well, first of all, good morning.
Hi.
And Happy New Year. And
Thank
the
you.
more I hear you, the more I like you.
Oh, thank you very much, Alice. You are very cool.
Well, I am a Trump supporter.
Okay.
And we don't know what went on during the planning stages.
Right.
I support this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not pretty.
Right.
But he has given this man plenty of warning.
Yes.
And something else that's not being brought up.
Mm-hmm.
What about the ghost ships that's carrying oil to Iran?
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
No one is bringing that up.
Nope. And not least of all me. I did not bring that up, so I'm grateful that you did. No, you're right.
Okay. And yes, and they don't fly under a flag.
Mm-hmm.
They're illegal. We went out after the little drug boats, the harmless little fishermen. Mm-hmm. That's not doing any good.
Amen.
The drugs are killing people here. I personally had a relative who died of an overdose. You have no idea what that does to a family. And I will tell you something else, too.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
a lady of a certain age.
Okay.
For nearly 30 years, I flew as a crew member for a U.S. international flagship carrier.
Okay.
We flew in to Caracas.
Yes.
That was a beautiful city.
Mm.
It was a beautiful city.
Mm.
And yes, those people are suffering.
Yeah.
Those people are suffering. We have to get rid of this guy. If it's a regime change, fine.
So be it.
I know nothing about the military.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak to that, but sometimes you have to take drastic means.
Yeah.
And then something else too. I was based at JFK twice.
Okay.
And it's breaking my heart what is going on with this communist.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I come from a family of Christians and Jews.
Okay.
When I was 7 years old, my Jewish relatives came to my first communion. 6 years later, I went to a bar mitzvah.
Okay.
And that man is now a rabbi.
Wow.
Thank God. Yes.
Sure. Okay.
So people have no idea what they're missing. Something is wrong with this world. There's something evil going on. I'm not used to talking to millions of people.
Yeah, no, but you're doing a great job. You sound like a regular at this. No, Alice.
Well, I do talk. I do call in a lot, but I mean, it's just when you realize you're talking to the world, it's something else altogether.
No, but I think you're delivering a great perspective to the world because you're nobody's fool. You're speaking from a lifetime of experience. You've been around the world, literally. You've been to this place. You are talking about this from a humanitarian perspective. And yes, it's one thing to just talk about regime change. It's another thing to talk about regime change in the sense of, in the sense of it being a humanitarian, move to save people from, a despotic dictatorship who is making them all miserable and poor and sick. And it's terrible. And, this is, in fact, a good thing. Every once in a while, regime change is a humanitarian project.
And something else too.
Yes, ma'am.
Going to another part of the world's history.
Mm-hmm.
I was a child during the Hungarian Revolution. Fast forward, and I watched it on Huntley Brinkley. Everyone watched it at night. And I didn't understand what was going on. Students were demonstrating. And as a child, I said to my family, how can a student do that? Well, they're young and they're impressionable. Okay, what are you going to tell a kid? Okay,
right, sure.
So, all right, so the same thing is happening here. Fast forward some years later, one of my crewmates was actually, we were the same age, and she and her family escaped Hungary. And they came to New York. I remember your first night out as a crew, you would go out all together. That's your first night. We closed up, because the restaurants would see 12 to 16 people walk in at once. And oh dear. And we closed up that restaurant because she told us what happened when they escaped. And yes, they lived in a little town called Papa. And yes, and that it will curl your hair or straighten.
You know what? It turns out, it's a small world. I just returned from my wife's family. My in-laws are in Liverpool in the UK, and my brother-in-law, his wife, so I guess my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law's wife, her dad, walked through the mountains out of Hungary after or during the uprising there. He escaped the Hungarian regime. Yes. And walked through Europe and caught a boat and sought asylum and got it, and went on to drive cabs and cook food in the UK and raise a family. And I did hear the horrors. Alice, thank you for calling up. And like I said to another caller earlier, thank you for making the show better, which you indeed did. And I'm grateful for that. And on Alice's note, I don't want to give it short shrift. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, going to talk to Will, who has a unique perspective from Alice's when we read on Venezuela. He asks a very solid question here, and we'll get that from Will in a moment here on Another Side of Midnight with me, TJ McCormack, on the Red Apple Audio Networks. Be right back.
All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack,
77 WABC. All night long, this is Another Side of Midnight
with TJ McCormack,
77 WABC.
Blew my nose, and that's the next line. Blew my nose, and then she blew my mind. In the cold and flu season, where every single human being on the airplane coming back from the UK yesterday was, in fact, blowing noses and blowing minds. And that was the only stuff happening on that plane. There was absolutely no Mile High Club being achieved. Not on that plane. Nope. Nobody making out. Nobody could make eyes at each other. Although I tell you this is a departure from our breaking news. I'll go into this tomorrow morning, but this is a teaser for tomorrow morning.
Go ahead. Make my day. I was attracted to Brad Pitt.
That is a sexy mofo. That it's like not bisexual, not at all. Look, my daughters listen to my damn show on Spotify. They listen to the podcast of this program. So this is not me coming out to my daughters. I'm not bi, poly, nothing. You can act like a man. Bill's wheels are turning. There we go. But this is more like a unisex jacket. Yeah. I watched the film F1. Okay. And that's not a metaphor. We're not cleaning up a bad word. That's about the Formula One racing. And Brad Pitt is dreamy. Hey, Fred. That Brad Pitt's good looking, huh, Fred? Step aside, Bond. He's all mine. Holy cow. I do Fred Flintstone. Turns out I do Fred Flintstone. Sorry. We're talking about serious stuff. We're invading Venezuela, and I'm doing bits about finding Brad Pitt attractive. I'm sorry, but I'm still a little punchy. It's 9:30 in the morning UK time for me. Okay? Some of you on the West Coast, you guys are just getting going. I'm tomorrow. Get it? So I'm punchy. But here's the deal. I watched F1 and I'm sitting there. Now, granted, on an airplane, I know we get more emotional. I know the oxygen level and the feeling vulnerable, and you're traveling 40,000 feet and you're doing 600 miles an hour, and somehow that adds up to emotion. Somehow, for some reason, we as human animals find ourselves crying at weird stuff. I wonder if being attracted to a dude falls under that. I didn't find myself
Jesus!
I didn't find myself attracted to Brad Pitt. I was rather saying that Brad Pitt is very damn attractive. Okay?
Jesus Christ!
And that is, I think, very nuanced, just as Trump people are approaching Donald Trump, calling balls and strikes. Oh my God, I find myself right now walking into another pun that I'm not going to pun. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to call balls and strikes on Brad Pitt. All right. Just to shut me up, I'm going to get to Will here in New York. Will, good morning. Welcome to Another Side of Midnight. Alice is all...
Yeah, how you doing, TJ?
Good morning, brother. Good morning.
Let me ask you a common sense question.
Yes, go ahead.
If there's as many Venezuelans and gangs over here that we can't locate, if he starts to bomb people, it creates collateral damage. Once people, relatives start to die over there, they become terrorists over here. They got enough drug money to create real havoc over here. They know where everything is. Let me ask you a question. If this is solely about drugs, and I agree this guy needs to go, but I don't know if bombing is the way to do it. It needs a more surgical situation. But here's the deal.
Yes, sir.
If drugs, they know it's coming from China to Venezuela to be sold in America, why aren't they bombing Chinese boats? Because there's a bigger price to pay, economically and militarily.
Sure. Well, yes. No.
All right. So when y'all start praising John Wayne and the White House wannabe, this is the danger he's putting everybody in.
Well,
you understand? When you get on the train or the buses or stuff like that, this is what's going on. Use some common sense, my man, and get your ego out of it. That's what's happening. We living in this guy's ego, man.
Well, but like I said, though, Will, to be fair,
Stefani saw that. That's why she backed out when he put his name on the Kennedy Center. She said, "I'm done with this." It was in her face. She could see that this is all about his ego, man. It's crazy.
Well,
something's wrong with this guy, and y'all not actually.
Well, no. We are. No, here's the thing. We are. We've already heard from people who are calling up tonight and saying, "Look, this is not what we signed up for. This is not. If we're against." That people are calling up tonight and saying, look, if we're against, certain actions over here, if we're against the war in Iraq, right, then why are we, if we thought the war in Iraq was misguided and was based on lies and all that stuff, one person's, Will, to your point, one person's, weapons of mass destruction is another person's, that's a drug boat and not a fishing boat. And what are we doing?
I got relatives that take mass transit. I don't want to think about them getting blown up underground and all this craziness.
I get it.
But why isn't he penalizing China? Why isn't he blowing up ships?
bigger?
Because see that hero John Wayne stuff.
But it's also smart too. But Will, I mean, you can also see. Of course, you're not going to start World War III because there's a difference between a despot in a banana republic. Who's right there.
Venezuelans that live over there that's already under siege with this guy that's in
Well, but also,
you're bombing them?
Well, no. Here's the thing. Not so sure this is bombing tonight, this morning, Will. It looks like it probably is what you were calling for. It sounds like it's surgical. It sounds like special forces and not just willy-nilly bombs. I don't think Trump would get into the business, to your point, of bombing.
There's people there that work every day raising their families, trying to live a decent
and he's
life.
avoiding
them.
them.
Nothing to do with drugs and all of that.
And he very likely is avoiding them. He's sending.
All of a sudden, they're being bombed.
No, they're not being bombed, Will. It sounds like they're dropping.
That's what they said on the news, that they were bombing them. So my mind went to Iran.
Whoa. Dig this. Place. Breaking news. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, along with wife, captured and flown out of the country.
Well, that's good. It was less invasive as it could have been.
There you go. But, they got out the scalpel. They put away the hammer, and they took out the scalpel. Yeah. Holy cow!
I like that, because Venezuelans didn't get harmed in the process. Those innocent people over there just trying to live.
And you know what? And it might be that Donald Trump is currently helping those innocent people to live their best lives. And I bet you, Ortega, that woman is about to be installed. Holy cow. Yeah. All right, baby. Will.
This is a small country.
It is, dude. It is.
Always grandstand with a small country.
Well,
but if you know the drugs are coming from China.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there. That? Well, look, if we just took out one of the middlemen, then China is a tiny bit less prevalent in the drug trade than they were before tonight and this morning. Will, thank you, brother. Thank you very much for calling up. And I love your voice. You got a great voice for radio. I love that dude's voice. That's awesome. I'd love to hear from Will a little bit more. So Will, make sure you call back, dude. So here's the breaking news, gang. This is big time breaking news. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has been captured along with his wife, and they have been flown out of the country. This operation, according to Donald Trump, was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. That sounds like FBI. Multiple blasts in Venezuela. We've been delivering this, talking about this all night. I've been reporting on it. We've been bringing it to you. And just in the last moment, newsflash, Dateline Caracas. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, along with his wife, captured and flown out of Venezuela. One would imagine at any moment we're going to see Machado on a stage somewhere in the next probably 24 hours. How much you want to bet Trump's going to be the MC of that event? Ladies and gentlemen, she's going to be an amazing president. She's your president, and I should know because I, too, am an amazing president. Gang, this is actually, you know what? This really is gangbusters. This really is gangbusters. What are Democrats going to complain about? What are Democrats going to complain about when a duly elected, of course she's Hispanic, but when a duly elected woman assumes her office that she won fair and square because Donald J. Trump and his administration removed the despot that refused to leave? How are they going to be on the wrong side of disappearing this bad guy from that country? 1-800-848-9222. Democrats, are they going to be on the wrong side of this one? Are the Democrats going to be on the wrong side of this one? I'm punchy. I keep asking the dudes. I'm telling you, guys, you know what? I'm not going to pretend. I literally just hit the control button and said, it's Machado, right? And they're like, yes, dude, it's Machado. For the love of God, Machado. I'm still on Liverpool time. But, this is nuts, gang. This is really fascinating stuff. Let's go to Pete in Staten Island. Pete, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. That's the best news we could have. I'm going to compare this to 1941 capturing Hitler before the execution of Jews, because that's what it was. My family, my wife is Jewish. I'm an Italian. My father was in the army. He served in the United States as an alien enemy. He was a soldier, but he had, his ties to Italy. He had to be like, they were watching him if he was going to turn or traitor, but he was a great American soldier. And I know the stories from World War II that nobody told that my father did.
Breaking news, WABC.
All right, so apologies, Pete. I'm sorry, but I gotta read this one out too. This is breaking news because we do have a statement from President Donald J. Trump on his Truth Social, and oh wait, hold on a second now. Wait a minute. And isn't that just perfect? The Truth Social just crashed. It just crashed on me. That's insane.
Breaking news, WABC.
Are you kidding me? Hold on a second. We gotta get over here then. Okay, that is ridiculous. That is so silly. It literally crashed on me as I went over to Trump's feed to read you guys the breaking news, which is his Truth Social statement. Let me pull this up here real. Can you believe this stuff? Okay, let's see if he did it over here. No, he didn't put it on regular X, so it's only over there. Yuri's going to send it to me right now. Okay, cool, because we've got this. And by the way, this is being called my buddy Bill O'Reilly, not that Bill O'Reilly, our Billy O'Reilly, my buddy, who again is the one who introduced this notion of calling balls and strikes on Trump in this administration, even for never Trumpers. He says this one just might be a strike right over the plate. And I think that's pitch. Oh, look at that. What a pun. Pitch perfect. Here is the Truth Social. Thank you, Yuri. You guys are producing the daylights out of this show. Thank you very much. The United States this is Donald J. Trump just moments ago. The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. And that was about 18 minutes ago that posted. And my apologies to Pete in Staten Island. And my gratitude to the fellows for producing the living daylights out of this program. Let's keep this moving then, gang. Here we go. Let's go to, stay with me, hold on a second. What it's gonna be, let's go to Tony in Clifton. Tony in New Jersey. Tony, line 2. Good morning.
Good morning, TJ. Let's just give our Commander-in-Chief a salute, take a moment, and thank you for protecting our country from people who have been trying to poison our young people and kill them, not to mention all the people that have come here illegally and terrorized and killed our citizens. So that aside, we don't need to keep explaining it to the general public because there seems to be a lack of connection here. Right. There's like a few short circuits. But I was thinking about what people were saying about the Democratic Socialist Party, and everyone says, oh, he's not a Democratic Socialist. There is no Democratic Socialist Party. Well, there is now. So you really gave me an idea when you were saying Banana Republic. So I wrote this down because I was forgetting it after I was starting to call it in. So I think we should just get rid of the Democratic Party name. Okay. And maybe just a whole lot of them because they're basically illegal lovers Hamas lovers, radical terrorist lovers.
Yep.
I think you were calling it all out because basically they are the banana-cratic socialist U.S. Party division.
The banana-cratic U.S. Party Socialist Division. Banana-cratic. Fee-fi-fomatic. Banana-fana-fo-fan. I love it.
And so,
Yes.
Please don't vote TJ anymore. We don't want to hear it.
Right.
Get the strikes going. Keep them going. And God bless the Commander-in-Chief. Thank you, TJ.
Thank you, Tony.
We're in the new year. Love
thank you. Love
Bye.
you right back. Love you, Tony. Thank you. Let's get to Joaquin in PA. Joaquin, what do you think?
Good morning, TJ.
Dude.
Man, that was an incredible Chinese Irishman you did at the beginning of the show. I loved it.
Thank you.
Hey, you know something? This is a good thing, okay? For the longest time, we've been told that our, being colonial, that we've been colonizing places, being imperialistic.
Right.
When it's been shut up, sit down and be conquered, Judeo-Christian white Western civilization, man.
Right.
But, the problem is this. So in the meanwhile, while we sit back and take our hands off, and we allow the rest of the world, the Chinese, to conquer South America and other, people to get down there and to take over down there. And that's where, because we've abandoned, like, the Monroe Doctrine and even Teddy Roosevelt. There's so many parallels between President Teddy Roosevelt and President Donald Trump. It isn't even funny between these two guys. And as a matter of fact, real quick, as far as everybody cries about what he's doing to the East Wing, that's exactly why Teddy Roosevelt built it, was as a formal area to greet dignitaries and things like that.
Right, so, right.
But yeah, getting back to this Venezuela thing, I mean, South America is so important to us. It's right in our backyard. And the people of South America, they've been suffering ever since the communists, went in there and they destroyed that country. And unfortunately, we lost Brazil because when Jair Bolsonaro got his election stolen, like they did to, try to do to President Trump, they did the first time.
Right.
We lost Brazil, and that's why you have BRICS, you know. So Donald Trump is right on the money, and unfortunately, we have to basically stop importing people into this country, and we have to start deporting people and even revoking certain citizenships of, people that just don't belong here.
Right.
And something, the time has come for everybody to wake up that this whole agenda that's been shoved down our throats has been doing nothing but destroy us. And
right.
we've been willingly going along with it.
Yeah.
And if you're curious, I'm not a J.D. Vance guy. Do you want to know why? Okay, do you remember why they said Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis couldn't run on the same ticket?
No, tell me.
Because they were both pretty much on the same page. They're both, the policies.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. It was like one. It was just like a little bit more of the other. Yeah. It wasn't much of right.
Well, that's because they said that you couldn't have two alpha males on a ticket, right?
Right.
If that's the case, then where does that put J.D. Vance? Okay. I want somebody stronger than Donald Trump. When Trump is through, if we're going to keep saving this country, we need somebody that's actually even, more Donald Trump than Donald Trump is.
More intellectually invested in the whole thing.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I mean, he started, Make America Great Again and America First. But now it has to be shored up, and we have to do our best not to lose these midterms.
Yeah.
Because that would be the beginning of the end. And there's so much misinformation out there, and unfortunately the mainstream media is against us. And that's all been taken over by, a leftist agenda, that keeps driving these narratives. So, I guess that's my tirade for this morning.
There you go. All right, Joaquin, we'll probably talk to you tomorrow morning. All right, have a great rest of the day and Happy New Year. Once again, we've been covering this breaking news all morning. And now the big news comes through. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife have been captured and flown out of the country. Clearly, surgical strikes, surgical operations by special forces must have gone down in Venezuela, because that's how you extricate a despot dictator out of a banana republic. You send in special forces and you surgically remove the dude like a tumor. And that is what is happening. And now again, Democrats going to be waking up this morning, especially elected officials, and they are facing the unwelcome notion of having to sing from the songbook that says, "Oh, the poor despot. Is that what's going to happen today? At about 10:45, before the 11 a.m. Eastern Time news conference from Mar-a-Lago, where Trump is going to announce what happened in detail. Are Democrats going to be throwing bombs at Trump for removing the Democrats who spent the last 2 years talking about the sacred nature of democracy? Are these same Democrats going to be complaining about Trump's removal of a dictator who did not step aside when this woman won, Machado, when she won fair and square and he stayed in office? Are Democrats today, Saturday, the 3rd of January, upon announcement of the removal of Maduro from his country, the despot, the dictator, are they going to be complaining? Are they going to be defending this, dictator, this guy? Are they going to be defending Maduro? Are the defenders of men and women's locker rooms and the defenders of wife-beating human smugglers, are they going to now be on the side of Maduro or the rightfully elected Machado? Tough day for Democrats. Very tough day for Democrats. All right, we've got to take a very damn quick break. Actually, hold on a second. Really, let me see here. Wait. Eddie and Rockland. Let's go to Eddie and Rockland real fast because I know Eddie's in and he's out. Just like our special forces in Venezuela. Eddie's in and he's out. Good morning, buddy. Trudging away up there.
In and out. Unbelievable. Listen, when I first heard this, I had a lump in my throat, and I thought, this is going to suck.
Yeah.
Now I can breathe.
Yep.
It's an amazing thing.
Yep.
You know, when you're living a spiritual life, you don't want anyone to die.
Right.
But sometimes the light shines where it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So that's all I got for you. I love you, kid.
Love you right back, buddy. Trudge on. Eddie's out there doing his Saturday morning sober walk in this temperature. All right, we got to take a quick break. 1-800-848-9222. It's another side of midnight with me, TJ McCormack, here on the Red Apple Audio Networks.
All night long. This is another side of midnight
with TJ McCormack.
77 WABC. It's another side of midnight.
Political humorist TJ McCormack.
Now to the Bernard McGurk studios of 77 WABC.
Here's TJ McCormack.
It is 51 minutes past the hour, and we are rolling along on a very busy news morning. Very, very atypical for this program for Another Side of Midnight, because we're on Another Side of Midnight all around the world. And news doesn't often break, but it broke. It broke this morning as the United States and its brilliant tactical forces went in to Venezuela. Quick strikes, boom, 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 towers of smoke, bobbity boop. In go the dudes and the gals. Out comes Nicolas Maduro, the dictator, the Venezuelan dictator, the longtime pain in the neck, the pebble in the shoe for the United States and his neighbors and all of us here in the Western Hemisphere, in our backyard. And he and his wife, Maduro and his wife, removed. And probably in very short order, we're going to see Nobel Peace Prize winner Machado installed, taking her rightful spot, because she already installed herself. She won. Interesting question, though. How are Democrats gonna deal with this? Keep saying it. Democrats have been forced to be on the wrong side of history over and over and over recently. Rooting for and explaining away and championing creepy men in girls' locker rooms and biological males winning in girls' sports and all those other things that we list off all the time. I won't do it all over again. But all of those wrong side of history in these 80-20 polling issues around the country, where are Democrats going to go today? They know full damn well that at 11 a.m., Donald Trump is going to be at Mar-a-Lago, and he is going to be talking about his daring call to send his dashing special forces into Venezuela to remove a bad guy. And then probably announce that Maria Machado is going to be stepping in as the rightfully elected president of Venezuela. A woman. Donald Trump's going to be a woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize, who said that he should have won the Nobel Peace Prize when she received it. Donald Trump is having a hell of a Saturday coming up. How the hell are Democrats going to handle this one? How do they spin this? Where do they land on it? This is one of those, this is a popcorn day. Nah, I gotta get up. Damn it. I'll have to watch. I gotta see this in real time. Well, you know what? Wait, I normally get up about 12:30 or 1 o'clock on a Saturday. And if this thing starts at 11, Trump will still be going. This thing's gonna go till 3. Let's go to Mike in South Carolina. Mike, good morning, everybody. Boy, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, TJ. It was busy. I got through.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say, I always get to my point. So some guys just and gals go on and on and on.
Yes,
and why?
You're pithy.
Yeah. Real pissy. You know, and look at this. Donald Trump is cleaning up the huge mess left by Joe Biden. Didn't know what area code he was in. Okay?
Yeah.
And Kamala, whatever.
Yeah.
Flashing your pearly whites, 20-some-odd million illegal aliens coming into the country. And, you talk about libraries for former presidents. They're building, I mentioned this on Dominic Carter's show a couple of weeks ago, Barack Obama. I don't know if you know, but they're building this huge superstructure in Chicago,
right,
for Barack Obama.
Yeah.
They spent over $1 billion already. Are you kidding me?
Looks like the Death Star. Looks like the Death Star or something like that from Star Wars.
Yeah, from Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're in the Twilight Zone in some respect. But Barack Obama. How does he deserve the award, right? Jesus.
He hadn't done anything. The Nobel Peace Prize. He hadn't done anything.
Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah. He hasn't done anything.
No.
But, as Dominic Carter referred to him as he's the king. He's the king. Really? When are they going to finish that superstructure? And maybe they'll put on a wing for George Floyd. Come on, man. Let's get real. Let's get real.
I hear you.
All right, TJ. All the best. Happy New Year.
And to you, buddy. Be well. God bless. Drive safe. Let's see now. Let's get over to wrap us up, bring us home, Frankie in Glendale. Good morning.
Happy New Year, and what a great show you have today.
Thank you.
Ended the year. We started ending the year with the Somalis,
right,
with their daycare centers.
Right.
We got a mayor inaugurated a commie in New York, and now we take out this Venezuelan dictator. Outstanding. Promises made, promises kept.
Yep.
And The monkey's dead. The show's over, I guess.
I tell you what, Frankie, man. Ta-ta! You're very funny. There you go. There goes Frankie. Gang, I mean, really, remember those times that Trump would say, we're going to win so much, you're going to get sick of winning. We're going to win so much, you're going to get so tired. He's bordering on that degree of winning. And again, this is the glorious thing about today. This is what I'll be looking for. How does the BBC respond to this? How does ABC, NBC? How does the Canadian broadcast? How does Nancy Pelosi? How does, Hakeem Jeffries? And, how does Ilhan Omar react to this? How does AOC? And by the way, AOC and Bernie and Mamdani, they come from the Nicolas Maduro wing of politics. This was a great show. Thank you so much for being here, gang. Thank you. And we will be back here tomorrow for another Side of Midnight, Sunday morning edition. And until then, I'm TJ McCormack. I wish you all the luck in the world. God bless.
It's Another Side of Midnight, 77 WABC.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.